purpose, this is about specifically the leader of the company having a clear vision, a clear understanding what they're in business for, and not just to make money. You know, of course, it's a given. The business is in the business to make a profit. But what else are they in the business for? And can they clearly articulate that to their employees? Can they clearly articulate that to their customers? Is everybody on board and really energized about higher purpose? Okay? So there was 5 questions that they asked to really get at, is that higher purpose part of the that was one of the things that these companies scored high on, these companies that I mentioned. Under stakeholder integration, this is talking about treating your employees, your customers, your vendors, the community, as well as shareholders, all a win-win situation for all, not just focused on the shareholders and treating the employees as a means to an end. About culture? Probably not, because most businesses don't. That's why out of all of the companies, see, they went through several hundred companies to come up with a list that scored high. I mean, there's just a short list that actually even ranked on these items. Nobody was perfect. The idea is it's a journey to you know, just like nobody's fully enlightened, right? It's a journey to become a more conscious company. But in terms of culture, let me talk to you about a little bit of what they looked at for that. Does the company have a high degree of trust amongst the employees, the leadership and the employees? Is there a high degree of transparency, both internally and externally? So think of Enron, right? Now think of the opposite of Enron. So do we do what we say and mean what, do we mean what we say and say what we mean? Okay? That the people that work for you are the lifeblood of the company, and some of the exemplars that were interviewed actually went out of their way to extraordinary lengths to keep people during tough times, you know, working through furloughs and different creative solutions. But the amount of loyalty that the people returned was off the charts, right? And that, and also it's the opposite of command and control. So these companies are companies that found the right people, trusted them, had a culture of trust and caring compassion, and empowered them. It wasn't Timberland, Toyota, Trader Joe's, BMW, Caterpillar, Container Store, Costco. What do each of these companies have? How can we codify this? And they codified it into these 4 pillars, these 4 tenets. Now, I don't want to go on too long here, but this was a book that came out in 2003. It also became a movement. So CEOs, like the CEO of Costco, the CEO, Jim Senegal, the CEO of Southwest Airlines, and some of the other companies I mentioned, they meet as part of a national organization, National Conscious Capitalism Organization, once a year as a CEO summit. So what it's all about is, this is a journey. Nobody's doing this perfectly, right? To try to change an organization or even improve on these practices is a huge thing, right? And one company might do one of these quadrants better than another. So what these CEOs do is they get together and they talk about implementation. They talk about best practices. What is it like for you trying to deal with some issues around these particular topics? Here's the firms of endearment companies. Here's the good to great companies. And here's the S&P 500. So over a 15 years, this is 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, over a 15-year period, the companies that were the firms of endearment companies that scored high on those 4 quadrants, they outperformed the S&P companies over that 15-year period 14-1, and they outperformed the good to great companies over that 15-year period 6-1. So it does, what they ended up showing is it does make a difference.
He took this
And
Herbert Taylor in 1929.
Member of the Chicago Rotary Club.
Yeah, so this company was failing, and it was about to go into bankruptcy, right? And it was given to him to lead and try to salvage. And he looked at the company, he looked at the competitors, and he thought, you know what? Our products are no different. Our products are exactly the same. Our customer base is the same. There's nothing that we're differentiated about. Our pricing is the same. How can we really pull this company out of, potential bankruptcy? What can we do? And in a moment of illumination, he decided we could put values first. We could put character first. We could actually believe in something, believe in character and values as the way we run our business, as the way we treat our customers, as the way we treat each other. And so he took a moment to pray. Okay, I don't know what we should base this on. I don't know. And guess where the four-way test came from? His moment of quietness to ask, what should be the guiding principles of my company to take it out of bankruptcy? And anyone want to say what the four questions are?